Okay, so maybe I didn't elaborate in the last episode why I'm a Falcons fan enough. So I figured in this one, I'll break it down and explain to you why I'm a fan of the Dirty Birds. You know what I'm saying? Uh, uh. We don't have much to dance about these days, but I'm going to dance anyway. Stay tuned. So let's start off. I am not a natural born Clevelander, right? My father is from Cleveland, Ohio. He was a Marine in the military, and he was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. My mother is from Paterson, New Jersey. She was living with my aunt because we have family all in Virginia. That's where my grandmother's from. She was staying with my aunt in Norfolk. So that's how they met, got together, had me. So boom, I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, right? Norfolk, as you all know, doesn't have any professional sports teams. So usually most people either root for the Washington Commanders or they root for the Baltimore Ravens, depending on which. I got a couple of people that root for the Cowboys, a couple of people that root for the Jaguars, other people. Well, my grandmother and my grandfather and my aunt, my mother's sister, moved down to Atlanta, Georgia, right? And they would send me Atlanta Falcons stuff. So as I got into football, as I got a little older, maybe about 4 or 5, I got into watching the Atlanta Falcons more. And I would talk about the Atlanta Falcons with my grandmother, my aunt, and papa. And I just gravitated because I spent a lot of time around them from the time I was a baby to the time I was maybe 5 or 6. I just gravitated to the Falcons because they were Falcons fans. So that's what I knew, right? My father, who's from Cleveland, told me about a man named Bernie Kosar. He told me about Bernie Kosar, and he was trying his hardest to get me to be a Browns fan, and it just didn't work, man. I was already sold, man. So I'm out here, Falcons, Dirty Bird. This is actually before the Dirty Bird dance. Jamal Anderson came with that in 98, but that's another story. 1994. We wind up moving to Cleveland because my father got a better paying job at the post office. Once we moved here, the Browns were actually on their way out. We moved right in the middle of the Save Our Browns campaign. Don't take our Browns. Bill Belichick had just got let go. Everybody hated Art Modell, and they were getting ready to become the Baltimore Browns before the law stepped in and said, well, you can't exactly do that. You got to change the name. You have to change the name. So that's how they became the Baltimore Ravens. Well, when the Browns came back in 1999, that's when it became Browns country. And that's when I came into a culture where it was brown and orange. It is brown and orange in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm probably the only person that doesn't root for the Cleveland Browns. Now you're seeing a lot more Pittsburgh Steelers fans in Cleveland, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. My team is in the NFC South. I feel out of place sometimes because it's like I have nobody to talk Falcons with. Everybody I know wants to talk about Browns, and it's just like, bruh, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I could give you my opinion. You know, but it's kind of hard because have you ever had been in school and you see all the popular kids wearing whatever's trending, whatever's popping? So when I was coming up, it was FUBU or Anichi or Sean John or Rockaware. And then you, the kid that come in with something that's off-brand. Matter of fact, I'll give you a better example. Timberland boots. Everybody had a pair of Timbs, right? I came into school and I didn't have a tree on the side. My shoes came from Walmart and they said Street Power on the side. My boots said Street Power. They look like Tim's, but they said Street Power on the side. So I got clowned all day about it. That's kind of what it's like being a Falcons fan in Cleveland, Ohio. It's like you're out of place. The Falcons aren't good and haven't been good in the last couple of years. Meanwhile, the Browns are on their way up, like George and Wheezy, and everybody's high on the Browns, and I'm just here as a Falcons fan, and everybody's just clowning me, especially about the Super Bowl and other things like that, man. So it's a little lonely, but I'm making it, man. I joined a couple of Falcons groups on social media, so I joined those, man. But I'm gonna make it through, man. And the Atlanta Falcons, we're gonna be all right, man. Maybe not for the next couple of years, but we'll be all right eventually. Thank y'all for listening to my TED Talk. I'm Rico McGee. This has been the Sports Minute, and as always, we'll see you in a minute.